our vote.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the March 16th meeting for Plano West Rotary Club. And so what I'm going to do is turn it over to our past president, current treasurer, and amazing sergeant of arms, Mike Walker. Take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, we'll see who has something to share, a brag buck with the club here this afternoon. And why don't we start with Zane? Would you a brag you'd like to share with us today?
I am just excited to be here, and I've been doing a lot of work with the zone in Phoenix 223, so that's exciting. We just had a really big import that was very time consuming but fun.
Thank you. Robert Yudkin, you have a brag with the club for the club?
Do I have a brag with the club? Yes, I get to be here today with old friends and friends I haven't yet met.
Great to have you here this morning. Hey, Glenn, how about you?
Okay, brag. Well, it's not really a brag. It's a little bit of a good and bad. We were babysitting our 6-month-old granddaughter for months, and now she's going to be put into a Montessori school. So our days are back a little bit. Miss her, but also a little bit of freedom and can catch my breath.
So you ready to go back to being treasurer?
No.
All right, thanks, Glenn. Hey, Mr. Stone, do you have a brag?
Clean bill of health for polio this past week is what I saw. That's the good news. If you can hear me, Mike.
I can.
And mother-in-law that's getting back on her feet from a fall. So a couple of good blessings, and we're otherwise free from the COVID, but all of our nieces and nephews and child and grandchildren have had successful recoveries from COVID. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ken. Thanks.
Hey, Mike, if I could interject, we're going to need to end at 12:10, but we have a few guests that you may not have noticed. We have Susie Howe, Karen, Nancy Humphrey, Julie Holmer. So let's try to get these guests in before we run out of time, if you don't mind.
No, that's a great segue into Susie. Susie, you have a brag this morning?
Susie, before you brag, can you let everybody know who you are in the Rotary world?
Sure. I belong to Space Center Rotary here in District 5890 between Houston and Galveston. And in my abundant free time, I'm one of 17 directors of Rotary International. Last year, there were maybe 12% women on the board, 17. This year, there's 37% on the board. And next year, there's 47%. Just had to share that fun fact. And let me ask if that Kent Stone is the one from the University of Kansas.
It is, and I just sent you an email a few minutes ago because I think you've got a virus. Your address book is sending out emails.
And when I turn this way, I'm going to be adjusting my password. Thank you for being the 150th person to let me know this. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
You never know what's going to find out on our brag buck hour here, or 10 minutes.
Go Jayhawks.
Thanks, Ken. Hey, John, do you have a brag?
I don't have a brag, but I just want to wish the fabulous Myrtle Hightower a happy birthday. She turned 97 this past Thursday. She worked with Plano ISD for 30 years as the namesake of Hightower Elementary School in West Plano, and was a fixture in Plano for many, many decades.
All right, well, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. Ms. Catherine, you have a brag this afternoon?
So I'm the only Catherine in this group. I'm surprised. You never know. I have actually a personal one today, and that is heard back from my son. I knew he wouldn't call until he switched jobs, and he has a new job that he's excited about. He's a technology guy, and he was very bored at the state and well-paying job that he got, and he told us that we should be okay with him quitting on purpose and finding something different. So he is now at a startup, and we're happy and excited for him. And at least it's well paying, and at least he's young enough to still be on our insurance.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Julia Homer, do you ever brag?
Yes, well, I want to thank John Stafford for teaching me how to phone bank recently. I've had my first exposure to picking up the phone and dialing up people I don't know and asking them to support my campaign for Plano City Council. And sometimes I get brave enough to ask them for money too. Not quite the way John tells me to do it, but anyway, so I've stretched outside my comfort zone, and I appreciate John helping me learn how to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Julie. Nancy, do you ever brag this afternoon?
Well, Mike, thank you so much for asking me. I guess you know that I'm running for re-election. I was on a forum the other day. I am also a fellow Rotarian, and I'm in the Rotary Club of Plano. And so I know a lot of you. I know a lot of friendly faces here, and I'd love to get to know many of you that I don't know. But you know, I've been on the school board for 11 years. I bring a lot of experience, whether it is through the school board or my work in the community. And I was executive director of Hendricks Scholarship Foundation. My heart is always with the kids and for the kids, or whether I advocate at the state level. So I've got the House, my other computer. This is the House Public Ed Committee hearing that I'm listening to because I'm watching the bills. Anyway, thank you. I hope you will support me. And Julie, I need to learn from you what you've learned from John.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sylvia, do you have a brag? Well, I think you're on mute.
Excuse me. Hello, everyone. I'm Silvia Haik. I'm speaking from Santos, São Paulo, Brazil. And I went to 2 years or 1 year ago, no, 2 years ago to Guerrero Clinic. And it was the first time I saw Robert, and I received his message this morning, and here I am. Thank you for having me here with you all.
Thank you. So you're on here from Brazil?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm here in Plano, Texas. That's pretty neat. Thank you.
Yeah, small world.
Let's see, who have I got here? I had
I think
one.
our other guest is we
hang
have
on
Karen and Alyssa.
You said Karen?
Yes, Karen,
Karen?
and then
Hi,
also
Karen.
Alyssa after her.
Thank you.
So I'm Karen McDaniels. I'm from the Pilot Knob Rotary Club, and one of the best things that came out of Lone Star Pets last week was my opportunity to meet Alex. I think he rocks. So I'm done. I'll be the president. I'm the president-elect now of our club. But yesterday I was on the E-Club meeting Engage because my friend here, Artis, who is visiting me to get her vaccination, is from Todos Santos, Mexico, and she's a member of the E-Club, and we listened to Robert, so here we are.
Hey, pretty cool. Thank you very much. Alicia, do you have a brag?
Hey everybody, it's Elisa. I'm back. And yes, I have a brag. Well, first of all, I think I forgot to mention this last time, but I am a fellow Rotarian from the Plano Metro Rotary and happened to meet Alex and some of you guys at one of the events. So that's awesome. But my brag is my parents are getting their second vaccinations. One of them just got their second and the other one's getting it this week. So very excited about that. Glad to be here, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Clevie, do you have a brag this morning?
Actually, Mike, we're going to have to move on, and we're actually going to be
one more
talking about
minute.
TV. So
Sorry,
thank you.
We've
Thank
been
you
cut
very
off by
much.
the president.
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody, for your brags. Now I'm going to look for our member that I haven't seen much lately, but he just gives phenomenal prayers, Mr. Fred O. I don't have screen sharing ability, Zane.
You have it now?
Yes, thank you. All right, so Fred is going to lead us in prayer. Mr. Fred Thomas, take it away.
Father God, we just want to thank you today, for this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. We give you all the glory, honor, and praise, Lord. And we thank you today for a new mercy, Lord. Everyone on this conference line, everyone on the Zoom line, Lord, we ask you bless each and every family, Lord. Keep them safe, keep them protected. And Lord, just let love go forth like never before in the name of Jesus. Bless our meeting today, Lord. Let it be successful in Jesus' name. Amen.
Excellent. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
Now we're going to have our other favorite, actually all our members are favorite members. So Debbie, will you lead us in the pledge? Debbie O'Reilly.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you, Debbie. Now we get to do what everybody knows, what I consider the best part about our year, and the most important part is voting and inducting new members. And so we're going to be voting on Clevie. Everybody's had the opportunity of getting to know her over the last couple of weeks. She's eager to be involved. And so, and she's not in a skiff this time, so we actually get to see her. So that's great. So what we're going to do, everybody that knows, at this point, I am going to be putting out a vote. So we are going to use, for those of our guests, this is only for the members. So we're going to use the Zoom poll capability. And so all members vote and guests do not vote. And so here we go. Ready, go. Awesome. You guys rock. And as expected, unanimous, you are voted into the Plano West Rotary Club. Great job, Clevie. Now, this is everybody else, I'm ignoring you. This is between me and Clevie. This is her induction time. And so Clevie, I am looking at you. I'm actually having to move your screen, so right in front of you here. So this is awesome. Are you in your skiff? Are you in the middle of the induction? Is somebody going to walk by? You're going to have to mask up? Cool.
I'm actually sitting outside under one of our gondolas, so it's
Awesome.
nice.
She works for Raytheon, and so depending on what's going on, she's got to go into a secure location. So she made a point of making sure we could see and hear her. So Clevie, I am speaking to you now. So Clevie, you have been proposed for membership and the club has elected you. Therefore, it is my pleasure to induct you into the Rotary Club of Plano West. I understand you're aware of Rotary requirements and will follow them. You have offered your services to assist your fellow Rotarians in their community and international projects. As you know, Rotary is a service club, each member performing what Rotary terms as service above self. Besides service, you will have the benefit of powerful bonds of friendship with fellow Rotarians locally and worldwide. I especially commend to your attention the object of Rotary and the four-way test, which form the criteria for Rotarians in their daily lives. When you travel, you have this special opportunity to attend Rotary meetings and meet Rotarians throughout the world. This is another rewarding benefit of your membership. And now, by the power vested in me as president of the Rotary Club of Plano West, I am pinning this Rotary emblem. I've got to make it so you can actually see it. There we go. Rotary emblem on you virtually, and I declare you to be an active member of our Rotary Club. Welcome to Rotary. We all look forward to your enrichment of our lives and your own by your association in the world's oldest, largest, and finest service organization, Rotary International.
Woohoo!
Hey!
I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you.
Just for the group, I know a lot of people have been getting to know you over the last couple of weeks, and would you care to share anything with the group?
Sure. My name's Clevie Figueroa. Clevie Lyra Figueroa shows up everywhere. I am a military veteran of the Navy. I moved to Richardson last January and was finally able to buy a home in December. So I am permanent. I've made my home. I have my driver's license. I am a Texan. So I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. I've got 3 kids, 9, 15, and 16, and it's boy, girl, boy. I do work for Raytheon. I love my job, and I'm just excited to meet everyone in person. I can't wait for us to be able to see each other and spend more time together. Service above self is motto as well, but I get the most pleasure, I think, out of serving. I'm a better giver than I am receiver. So pardon that. I'm trying to learn not to be that way, but I do better with giving. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to get to know you guys and be a part of this amazing group, because I didn't know back home that I could do this. And I've never felt so welcomed anywhere until I came here to Texas and met you all. So thank you so much. You guys are incredible.
Awesome. We are so lucky to have you. Just for those of you guys don't know, Clevie, who's in Richardson, just like Nancy Humphrey. So she and Nancy are getting to know each other because Clevie's kids are in Plano ISD, and Nancy is the person that represents Richardson in Plano ISD. Clevie is also agreed to be on our board of directors. So that's going to be awesome. And she's also going to be helping Roxanna out in membership, because Clevie's got a little recruiting capabilities. So it's not that we recruit members, everybody knows, but we got to be able to talk to people when they express an interest. So she's going to be giving much help to Roxanna, the board, and Plano ISD, because she's got kids in the district. So happy to help you, Clevie. I'm so glad. Finally, we've been waiting for this moment. All right. Well, now we're going to move on to another very special moment. Randall, we are going to be doing a Paul Harris Fellow ceremony, and I don't know who's going to do it, so I'm just going to go to our Rotary Foundation chair. Take it away, Randall.
It will be me, and thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate it. And I'm first of all going to ask my friend Zane to see if I can share my screen with everyone.
Yep, you should be able to.
Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen there? Perfect. Okay. And before I get going, I'm going to make a general promise that I'll try to be on my best behavior this afternoon when I'm giving this presentation. As you all know from my previous ones, I do like to have a little bit of fun with them. But again, I'll promise to be on my best behavior because we have guests here today. And we also have people with Plano ISD, and my wife is an employee of Plano ISD. So I'm going to be on my best behavior as much as possible. But I'm still going to do a little fun. Can't do this without it. So today, it's really my honor and privilege to be able to present this award to someone in our club who in a very short time has made a significant impact. And let's see, I'm going to advance my screen here if I can. Okay. In a very short period of time, Miss Catherine Chan Goodwin, who joined our club in December of last year. And let me repeat that, December of last year, which is 3 months time, has made a significant impact and made so much of a difference in our club. And so again, it's just my honor and my privilege, Catherine, to be able to present this prestigious award to you this afternoon. Catherine not only is a member of Plano West Rotary Club, but she brings to us a wealth of experience in community service and her involvement in community service. And I just took a few moments to list some of the other areas that she's been involved in. And but based on that, I know just from her involvement that we probably crossed paths, even though I haven't had the privilege of meeting you in person, Catherine. I know we've probably crossed paths just from some of the organizations you've been involved in your time. Leadership Plano, Arts Center of Plano, Plano ISD School Board, City of Plano Senior Advisory Board. I know we may have crossed paths in that particular venue. Plano ISD Council of PTAs, Young Men's Service League, the Wildcat Chapter, and the Junior ROT, the JROTC Wildcat Battalion Booster Club. So again, I have to be on my best behavior because look at this. This is just a great list of accomplishments that she's done in just a short period of time. And you would think, excuse me, there we go. Okay. You would think that with Catherine's achievements and what she has listed, that she would be more of like in the sitting mode of her organization, but she really gets involved from what I could see. Not only in just researching and, as you all know, going to my Facebook source to find out about people and a little bit about their background. She's not a sitter, she's a doer. She's out there in the community. She's working very hard for causes that she believes in. And I have to respect and admire that greatly. The fact that not only that she has been such an instrumental part of our club, she's out there encouraging people to vote, to be involved, not only herself, but others around her to be involved. So with that, you just have to take a step back and just say, this is a person that you're really pleased to be around and an honor for us to be able to bestow this afternoon. With her busy schedule, I always like to look at family and background. With her busy schedule, and I'm assuming, Catherine, this is your family. With her busy schedule, she has time for family. And I just want to take a quick step back. I'm looking at this picture here of her beautiful family, and I see that the gentleman to her left must be her husband and then her son and daughter. But if I take a step back on my presentation here, Catherine, this gentleman on the right-hand side doesn't look like he's in family or anything. So knowing that you're in a high visible position, I just wanted to be able to say, I have some contacts in service. So if you need someone to help you with stalkers or whatever, or fans that have come out and looked and approached you during your campaign trail or whatever, I just want to say I have contacts in the security world. So if you need that kind of service, just let us know. I happen to know this guy, so he's a good guy. I'm just teasing. And with all that Catherine's done, she's still climbing to higher heights. And again, it's just my honor to be able to be here and bestow this prestigious award on her. So Catherine, virtually, I'm going to present this pin, Paul Harris Fellow Pin, to you this afternoon for all you've done to our club, for our club thus far in 3 months. And with that, I know that in about maybe 6 or 7 months, I'll be doing this again for your Paul Harris plus 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and however far you go, because I know that you have the acumen to do that. So again, please join me in congratulating Mrs. Catherine Chan Goodwin for her Paul Harris Fellow designation this afternoon. And Catherine, would you like to say a few words for us this afternoon?
Well, thank you. And I have to tell you that when Randall told me about this, I really am very surprised, since I haven't been with y'all very long. And I don't have the 4-way test memorized. And I don't know everything, but what I do know of Rotary is how it matches with my personal values of service, and what I've come to now as I've gotten older and raised a family and had a successful career, and that is anything I can do to make more pie. And that is what we had our Rotary International Secretary say: any activity where 1 + 1 = 3 is something where I want to be. So I look forward to keep doing that with Rotary.
Thank you so much, Catherine.
Awesome. Thank you, Randall. Thank you, Catherine. I got a lot of people have known Catherine before she joined our club. She is a powerhouse. I actually met her at the polls when she was running, as a matter of fact, and Tuck, her husband. And then since she's joined our club, Man, her and I are like best friends because we were talking, texted multiple times a week. But it was interesting. Just a quick story is Catherine was just volunteering with us a lot, not just, but, and so I'm like, Catherine, are you going to join? No, I'm too busy. I'm too busy. I'm like, okay. So then she's showing up like every other week at our Douglas meal delivery. I'm like, why don't you join? You're already doing what Rotarians do when you're volunteering with us every other week. And it's like, oh, I don't know. So I didn't worry about it. You know, I don't harass people. And then a couple of months later, I see her application come through. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? She said, well, I kind of thought about it. And if I'm already doing what Rotarians do, why not join? And here she is. So now, Mike, I got to give you some bad news. Catherine's known in the volunteer world as the Queen Treasurer, Master of Books. But I promised her we're not going to ask her to do that in our club because that's what everybody wants her for. We want her for her service. And she's phenomenal. She's our, for those that don't know, Catherine's our liaison to the PISD in our relationship. And it's really needed because she's got to work with probably the most difficult pain in the butt guy in all of PISD, our club member, James Thomas. And so, and anybody who knows James, he's the opposite of that. I think he should be on this call. So James is our inside man with the district, and Catherine is our Rotary woman, and they make all of our Rotary activities with PISD School District happen. So, and she doesn't have to do our books, so she's happy. So thank you. Your contributions to the Rotary Foundation is amazing, especially being such a new member and serving constantly. We're just so proud to present you your Paul Harris Fellow. All right, those are my two most exciting things. New members and Paul Harris Fellow. So if you guys want to make me happy, you know what to do. Get more members or donate to the foundation. All right, let's move on because we have a very important speaker coming up. So I'm going to quickly go through our club business. Do you guys see my club business slide? Okay, cool. All right, real quick. Make sure we continue to welcome Antonio Harris and Tristan McKinney. We vote and induct them next week. So I know Antonio's here. I'm not sure if I've seen Tristan. You got an email, you got a mistake dues invoice yesterday, ignore it. It was 3 weeks too early and there's some mistakes. So we're gonna send it out the first week of April corrected. So please ignore it. We have our district conference coming up April 23rd. There's a live version and there's a virtual version. I'll be doing the virtual version. If you've received emails on it, if you enroll for it, no different than pets, we will reimburse you. So we encourage anyone and everyone to get Rotary education. And it's just great to learn more about Rotary and meet other Rotarians. So respond to those emails, click or subscribe. When the event's over, you send us your paid invoice and we reimburse you. And then also, this is really important. Like I mentioned before, we did finalize our community assessment for our Plano Homelessness Global Grant. I need somebody who will be the facilitator of the team that's going to go through the assessment and identify what priority projects we're going to work on, because we can work on multiple global grants. I need that facilitator. Without that facilitator to help prioritize the projects, this just sits on the vine. And we really want to get a grant submitted before May 31st, because as some of the Rotary gurus here know, there's a big change. The World Fund's only going to match up to 80% on grants submitted after May 31st. So I'd like to get into that full 100%, at least for one of our homelessness grants. So please let me know if you can facilitate a group of Rotarians to go through a completed assessment and identify what projects we want to pursue. Last week was a slow week for us. We only completed one service project. I think, Michelle, you said in the board meeting, we're going to have 6 total for March. And so this week is a big week. I think we have 3 or 4 service projects this week. But Laura Johnson, she was a team leader. What's cool about this one, the city of Plano contacted me directly. And they said, hey, we have a short-term project. We could really use your Rotary Club's help. You know, the neighborhood service division needed to get these door flyers out because this neighborhood is not taking advantage of the services that the city offers for free. And so within a week, we had 11 volunteers show up and deliver these flyers to 161 homes. And really cool, Laura was the only Rotarian there. So we had 10 people in the community helping us do that. So that's awesome. That the fact that we have the city, the school district, other organizations coming to us to help them just tells the power of our membership and the good that we're doing. So keep it up, everybody, because you are the ones that are just making us a needed component of our community. And as you know, this isn't the first project the city's asked us to participate in. I think we've got this Saturday, well, I'm going to talk about it, Clean Up Plano. This is a city project that they desperately need help. And so we're going to be bringing 20 volunteers to help clean up Oak Point Park, and it's trash. I think we have 11 or 12 signed up now. So we need more members to sign up and do it, because we're also going to go back to the community. So I don't want the spots to be filled up if members want to do it. Glenn is the team leader on that. Then we have our March 23rd, which is next week. We're doing helping Armstrong Middle School with their meal delivery. That's Catherine and James. And no, James is not a pain in the butt to work with. Anybody that knows James, I tell him, is he on? I thought he was on. We're like good cop, bad cop. He's always nice no matter what happens. And I'm always like, wait, we got to do this. So it's like, I love working with James. So Catherine has it easy. We have our 4-way test speech contest, All Plano, which takes place on Saturday. We can't really attend because it's just competitors and Toastmaster judges, but Jenny's running that. And then we have our club version, which is next week. Zane's going to run it. I'm going to induct Tristan and Antonio, then turn it over to Zane, and he's going to run the rest of the meeting. And we're going to have 4 students talk about the 4-way test to our club. We have Toastmaster judges are going to be helping rate them, and then we'll be identifying the winners of the club by the end of the meeting. So 12-1, a lot's going to happen. And then we have on the 27th, where we clean our personal project, Adopt a Highway, where we're cleaning up a stretch of Avenue K. Definitely sign up for that. And then we have cards for nursing homes. We have Carolyn and Sam Yam. They're leading that project where people can send cards to nursing home employees and nursing home residents. So these are basically our March projects. Sign up, encourage your friends, and let's continue to serve our community. So with that, I apologize for taking 3 minutes of your time, Robert. It's now, I'm going to turn it over to our 2-time past president, 4-time club secretary, and amazing guy. Oh, and Paul Harris +7, Glenn Thornton. Take it away, Glenn.
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, as I mentioned in the brags, I was able to sit next to Robert a couple of times during the roundtables back when we used to actually meet for roundtables in person, and got to know a little bit about the clinic that we're going to hear about. So I'm excited. So Robert, our speaker today, accidentally became a Rotary member 31 years ago when he accompanied his father, who was visiting from Florida, to a weekly Rotary meeting at Prestonwood Country Club so that his father could maintain perfect attendance, which used to be very important. Robert sat next to a guy named Harry Sable, who was like the Pied Piper of Rotary. Next thing he knew, he was a member of Addison Rotary Club. And 31 years later, him and his dad now have 96 years of perfect attendance. Wow, very cool, very cool. But today's program is not about having perfect attendance, but about the good things that can happen if you just show up and are open to experiences that are offered. So Robert Yudkin is the past president of the Addison Rotary. He first got involved with the Guerrero Rotary Clinic in 2005 and is now one of the, I think I saw 3 administrators. So Robert is here to tell us about his journey and the Guerrero Clinic in Chihuahua, Mexico. Please join me in welcoming Robert. Thank you.
Take it away, Robert.
There we go. Technology is great when you know how to use it. Alex, thanks. I'll get my 3 minutes back at some point. Before I go, let me just say congratulations to Clevie and Catherine. Welcome to Rotary, and congratulations on the Paul Harris. As Alex says, it's very important. And we may have a couple more visitors since you introduced them, and I'm going to take 10 seconds. And I think my son is on the call somewhere, although he may be splitting duty with work. And Luis Cabrera, who's our administrator locally in Guerrero, just joined us, and just right on time, Luis. So let me start. So President Holger Knack's theme is Rotary opens opportunities. And I'd like to say the Guerrero Clinic for me was a big opportunity. I'm going to take the next 20 minutes, or maybe 17, is to just sort of tell my story. I'm going to tell a little bit about the Guerrero Clinic story. I'll talk about today's Guerrero Clinic, and then I'll leave time for questions. So my story, as you saw in the introduction, started with my father. And he came to, growing up, he always went to his Rotary meeting. It's something he did. He had lunch, and occasionally he dragged me against my will there. And, that was that. And then he came to town, and I sat next to Harry Siebel one day, and I think Harry sort of almost makes Alex look tame. He was a real Pied Piper and a great guy. So, for the first 15 years, I was nothing remarkable in Rotary. I was a member, I did activities, I participated in our golf tournament, I held a few offices, and that was really, that was about it, which I'm not sure is good or bad. It just sort of was. And somewhere about 2004, I started thinking about really, what am I doing in Rotary? Do I need to continue this? It's a lot of time, it's a lot of money, there's other things I could do. And then in 2005, one day, I went to my Friday morning breakfast meeting. And surprisingly, I paid attention to the speaker. Hopefully like you guys will do today, but it was a guy named Walter Branson. And Walter is a real low-key guy, a good old boy from down in south of Houston. And he does construction for a living. And he was talking about this clinic somewhere in rural Mexico. I had no idea where it was. But for whatever reason, I started to pay attention. And it sounded interesting. And my son at that point was 15 years old. And he had just started, he just started St. Mark's, and Walter's talking about the other side of the world with poverty. And I said, this sounds like an interesting idea. And I wonder if he'd be interested. I went home, I talked to my wife, and we kicked it around. And about a year later, we brought it up to Josh, and much to my surprise, he said, yeah, I'm interested. All right, so I figured it was going to be a one and done, and I never thought about doing anything internationally. Heck, in those days, our club didn't even do anything with the district. And so I talked to Walter a couple of times, and then we'd get to October of 2006, and I'm going to see if I can share my screen here. Let's see. And hopefully you can see some pictures of Josh and me. Good. So that is our first adventure. He's 16 years old and I'm a lot younger, down to Guerrero. And we went, and what made me proud as a parent was when Josh quickly went from being my son to I became known as Josh's dad. Josh worked, he found his niche in pre-op, and and they loved him. And as you can see, everybody seemed to love him. And me, I just sort of did my thing there. And, you know, I guess they loved me too. But let's see here if I can stop sharing. As I say, technology is great if you know how to use it. So we went, and much to my surprise, came back energized, passion. We had such a great time. And I didn't know what to do. I got on that plane and I had no idea where we were going. There was no website, and I Googled Guerrero, and I was talking about some state somewhere, and there was no clinic. And so I literally got on the plane with my 16-year-old son, not knowing where the heck I was going. So I got back and I said, what can I do? And I built a website, and the first thing I put on it was a map, and that sort of got me going down the road here, and now we are down the road. And while I plan to go back regularly, Josh sort of forced me to go back the following year and bring him with him. He was good. So as much as I enjoy going, it's even more special when he gets to go with me. And you saw the early pictures, and I'm going to just quickly put up a picture, hopefully, of this was us at our last clinic together. Yeah, he doesn't look any older, but I do. So what I'm going to do, hopefully, Zane, I can play a short video, a 90-second video, and you can hear it. We'll find out momentarily. I'm going to share the screen again. Technology willing. Hello.
We don't see anything and we don't hear you anymore, Robert.
You don't see anything?
Just your smiling face. Here we go. It's coming up. No volume.
All right. So that's, hopefully you got to see and hear a little bit about the clinic. And since Alex took 3 minutes of my time, I'm going to go even faster here and cover some ground. So what do? We primarily take care of eyes, although we do dental, plastic surgery, and other specialties when we have people. In terms of surgeries, we do 98% cataracts, and the cataracts down there are substantially more dense than what we see in the US. And for anybody who hasn't seen what a cataract is, what you see on the left is a typical cataract that we have down in Mexico. Notice the denseness, and you don't need to be a doctor to see that there's definitely a problem with that one. And many of our patients, because of the environment and the outdoor conditions, it's the elevation, they have those in both eyes and come to us really effectively completely blind. They haven't seen their family. They can't work. They don't have vision out there. So where do we do this? Okay, the next picture. So where is the clinic? The clinic is in the state of Chihuahua, which is to the left of and south of most of Texas. And in the state, the clinic is about 120 miles west of Chihuahua City. So the town's about 10,000 people. It's at an altitude of 7,000 feet in the Sierra Madre Occidental Mountain Range. It's primarily an agricultural region. Apples are really big there. So we do 3 eye clinics a year, except during years of COVID. We do one in the fall, the spring, and the summer. And we do 1 plastic surgery clinic a year also. And who do we help? We have 3 classes of patients. We have Mexicans, we have Mennonites, and we have the Tarahumara Indians. And to qualify, it's not something that people strive for. You have to be poor, you have to have nothing. And some of these people, the Tarahumara Indians, some of them live in caves, literally. So some walk to the clinic, and that's a long walk. And one thing that I notice continually every time, every year, every patient is just so appreciative of what we do. And by rough math, I think we've served about 60,000 patients over the years, all at no charge to them. So our founder, let's see. Oops, wrong button. Dr. Tom Pruitt, he founded the clinic 40 years ago. This is the 40th year. And God bless Tom, he's still cooking, he's still going. He doesn't quite work as hard as he did 40 years ago, but he is the spiritual rock of our clinic. So it started with an early grant from Rotary, the 4-H grant, where we ended up with a mobile vehicle that we took out to the various places around Mexico. The only problem is with the hard roads and the environment, the mobile clinic didn't work real, broke down and didn't last very long. It's somewhere around 1988, we moved our permanent home to Guerrero, and that's where we've been since. So in terms of facilities, we've grown over the years. We now have 3 buildings. The clinic itself, which was remodeled in 2011, it's got 3 surgical suites. It's got pre and post-op. It's got sterilization rooms, a 3-chair dental room, 9 exam rooms equipped for optometrists, an optical shop where we both manufacture and dispense glasses, a small pharmacy. We've got a waiting room for our patients. And our second building is a 5,000 square foot dining hall, meeting hall that was built in 2011. And this person with very limited construction experience went down and helped build it. Although I have to say most of the Mexicans did most of the work. It's got a commercial kitchen in there, and it's over the years, it's been fitted out really, really nicely. And our latest addition was just a year or 2 ago, maybe 2 years ago. And it's the Pruitt building, dedicated to Dr. Tom Pruitt, our founder, and it serves our patients, and it's very appropriate. In it, it has a kitchen, it's got bathrooms, showers, and a dining and rest area for the patients themselves. So what's the clinic about? It's a story about people helping people, people working together to help people. And let's see what we got here. And it's not just people in Texas or people in Mexico. My last count, and this is only the people that I know about, we've got people that have come to the clinic from 23 different states around the country. We also have people, including Sylvia, who have come from places outside the US, and there's 8 countries that I count so far. United States, Mexico, Brazil, Canada, the Dominican Republic, England, and South Korea. So, you know, who comes? Rotarians come, just everyday members like I used to be. And we've got plenty of current and past presidents that come. We've got plenty of current and past district governors that come. And we also happen to have one very tremendous Rotary International current director who comes down. And Susie, what do you do when you go down there? Do we make you work?
Oh, sure. I have no medical skills, none. None. I couldn't even take a temperature if I had to. So the first time I was down there, they put me in charge of the pharmacy. Have you ever worked in a pharmacy?
Yes,
Okay.
my wife does.
So people would walk in the front door, pick up drugs, and walk out the back door. I flunked pharmacy. So then they sent me to the laundry room where I got to sort scrubs, small, medium, large. And I was really good at that because I had a Montessori school for a long time. So I've got down that sorting skill. And then I got to go into the operating room for the cataract surgery. I was fascinated. At first, my job was to tear off tape for the doctor. But they had this microscope that had 2 sets of lenses, and I got to look through and watch them do the cataract surgery. Have you all ever seen that up close? Okay, they're still doing manual. It wasn't like laser surgery, but pretty much all of us, well, at least a third of us will have cataract surgery. So I thought, this is cool. I'm going to see what it's like. So when I got home and a couple of years later, it was time for cataract surgery, my doctor was so pleased. He'd never had a patient say, yes, I'm ready. Put me in tomorrow. I want this. And after that too, I got to help raise money, thanks to Sylvia and several other friends, for an even bigger and better microscope. So thank you, Robert. I'm going to have to drop off early, but I just really appreciate being here with y'all today. And when we all can travel again, please come with us.
Super. Thanks, Susie.
You bet.
So besides Rotarians, we've got interactors that come. We have a Rotarians in Massachusetts that for 3 years have brought interactors with them. Not only is a Rotary project, but it's shared. We have Lions that participate. And at our last clinic, we had 3 current district governors in Lions. And our involvement through the clinic resulted in a partnership where 5810, I guess that would have been 2 years ago, got into a coat drive for people who needed them in the winter down in the state of Chihuahua. So we partner with optometry schools and anybody else who has a heart of service. So it's a great multi-generational experience. I started with Josh, and I'm thrilled when he comes. We've had parents and grandparents come. The age, unless the kids are exceptional, which we do have some that come down at 10, 11 years old, I like to see them come as they start high school. And the girls will have a little bit more maturity a little sooner, so they're better for a year or 2 earlier than the guys. But we've even had people find spouses down there. Walter, who was our director, is married to a former volunteer. The past president of the Addison Rotary Club brought him down, and he found his wife down there. And there's 1 or 2 other people also. So. And moving along here. So where do we stay and how's the clinic organized? Usually we fly down to Chihuahua City from Dallas. It's a 2-hour direct flight. And we go down on a Monday night or on Tuesday morning, depending on the airline and what's going on. So if we stay Monday night, we stay in Chihuahua City at a hotel. Tuesday morning, we pick up whoever's coming in on Tuesday morning, and then we travel out to the clinic. We generally stop at a pretty good Mexican lunch spot. There are a few good lunch spots, right, Luis, along the way? Yeah. And we get to the clinic early mid-afternoon. We drop our stuff at the Cabañas where we stay, and that's the picture that you see on the right. It's a family-run motel on the edge of an apple orchard. It's clean, it's comfortable, and it rocks and rolls on there. So a typical day of the clinic itself, after the orientation on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which are our work days, the volunteers who make breakfast start at 6 o'clock in the morning. We pick up the rest of the volunteers at 7 o'clock. We see patients 7:30 to lunchtime, and then lunchtime to the end of the day, which hopefully is between 5 and 6:30. Sometimes we don't plan properly. Sometimes cases are tougher. Sometimes we have more patients. Sometimes we have less doctors. So having a sense of humor and flexibility is key when you come to the clinic. There's no question about that. And so,
hey, Robert,
yes, sir.
We have to end at 1, and we're not going to have time for questions. Is there any last minute? Because we've got a few things to do between you and 1 o'clock.
All right. So you took my 3 minutes, and that's it. So anyways, if you are interested, I'd love to talk to you about it. It's a great experience. If the club happens to have some extra funds, we're a little short due to COVID. We did a fundraiser, generated about $30,000 last year. Unfortunately, it costs about $50,000 a year to operate without our revenue streams, which I was going to tell you about, but they got canceled last year. So hopefully we will have a clinic in the second half of this year, and COVID willing, and we'll see. And I appreciate your time, and hopefully I didn't put too many of you to sleep.
No, Robert, you're awesome. Awesome. What I'd like you to do, if our club, anybody that's in the Christian faith, you have the 3 time, talents, and treasure. We have no treasures, but we got lots of time and talent. So if you could send me an email of how we can help, and then we'll share with the club, because I've had a lot of private comments that people are really interested in the clinic and helping out. So definitely let us know. I'm really glad that you were able to speak to us. What I'd like, one thing that we do for all our speakers, we make a donation in your name. And so, Robert, in appreciation for your time and program, Plano West Rotary will donate $10 in your name to Rotary's Polio Plus Fund. Together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, your $10 turns into $30, which will provide a polio vaccine for about 50 children. I also like to point out that Rotary, we're using our polio infrastructure to aid in the vaccination for COVID-19 globally. And I know you know this already, Robert. So this donation is not only going to help eradicate polio, which is this close, it's also going to help vaccinate the world, because we complain about our COVID vaccination in America, which my family's going to get next Wednesday. In third world countries, they've got no solution. And so we, Rotary, are going to be a part of eradicating COVID globally. So Robert, thank you very much for presenting to us. Please send me that email so we can know how we can help, because our club is a club of service, and we also like doing donation drives as well. So we'll definitely want to get involved with that. Now, with that said, I want to let everybody know next week we have our 4-way test speech contest. Zane's going to run. We're going to have 4 students from Plano Senior High School and Clark High School and Vines High School, which are the 3 Interact clubs that we sponsor. They will present, and we'll have Toastmasters as judges. So be sure to miss it, and you won't have to hear me. You're going to hear amazing high school students. And then last but not least, we're going to have our new Paul Harris Fellow, Catherine Goodwin's going to lead us in the four-way test. Take it away, Catherine.
The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Rotary.
Rotary. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.